Our unit question is absolutism an effective form of government? Today's AIM question is, to what extent did absolutism affect Russia? Let's jump down to our text. First, we're going to read about Ivan the Terrible, and here's his picture here, looking quite terrible. Ivan the Terrible. In 1547, Ivan IV, grandson of Ivan the Great, was crowned the first Tsar of all Russia. The term Tsar was derived from Caesar, alluding to Julius Caesar from Rome. In addition, Moscow became the capital of the Holy Russian Empire. Ivan ruled with a deep-seated paranoia or nervousness and ruthlessness. It's said that he gouged out the eyes of the architects who built St. Basil's, which is a cathedral, so that they could never again create a cathedral of such beauty. That's pretty ruthless. The Tsar's power became absolute when Ivan the Terrible succeeded in conquering remaining independent territories, such as Siberia. He also assigned a master to the peasants who worked the lands around estates, creating a system of serfdom or slavery. When Ivan the Terrible died in 1584, Russia was left in a state of almost total political and economic ruin. Next, we'll read about Peter the Great. And this is his picture here. Peter the Great. The reign of Peter, who became Tsar in 1696, was characterized by a series of sweeping military, political, economic, and cultural reforms based on Western European models. Peter the Great, as he became known, led his country into major conflicts with Persia, the Ottoman Empire, and Sweden. Russian victories in these wars greatly expanded Peter's empire, and the defeat of Sweden won Russia direct access to the Baltic Sea. With the founding of St. Petersburg, Russia was now a major European power politically, culturally, and geographically. In 1721, Peter abandoned the traditional Russian title of Tsar in favor of the more European title of Emperor. 4 years later, he died and was succeeded by his wife, Catherine. So now we're going to read about Catherine the Great. And this is her picture down here. Very luxurious, very opulent. Let's read Catherine the Great. During Catherine the Great's reign, Russia expanded rapidly due to both diplomacy, meaning peaceful relations, and conquest, war. Well, that's interesting, peace and war. As a result of this expansion, Russian borders spread as far as the Black Sea and Central Europe. Catherine the Great strongly supported both modernization and westernization, becoming more like Europe, an endeavor or mission started by her husband prior to his death. Catherine was also a great proponent or supporter of the Enlightenment in Europe, a revolution in political thinking, philosophy, and science. In turn, or because of this, she promoted the education of Russian citizens. As Catherine aged, she became more conservative, or relying on traditional customs and structures in her rule. She continued to rely heavily on the nobility, or upper class. She initiated, or began, reforms that would give the nobility more power and control of their lands and the serfs that worked them. As a result, a number of rebellions by serfs occurred during this time period. But in the end, their rights were further restricted, and their status was further diminished or lowered. After her death, her son Paul took the throne.